Hello, my name is Morgan Green. I am a teacher at Creekview High School in the Cherokee County School District. I teach AP US History to 11th graders and Honors US and World Affairs to 9th graders. I am graduating at the end of the 2018 spring semester with a master's degree in Instructional Technology from Kennesaw State University. In this presentation, we will be discussing uses for Canvas to track data and improve student performance. In the presentation, we will discuss the need, project plan, evaluation plan, capstone experience, results, and reflection. First, we need to talk about the need. Why do we need to use Canvas to track data and improve student performance? Well, Canvas is our new learning management system that we moved to this year. Within this program, we have the opportunity to capitalize on different features to track student data and use that data for the improvement of student performance. Prior to Canvas, student data was calculated manually. Canvas allows us to tie assignments and questions to Georgia Standards of Excellence, or as they are called in Canvas, learning outcomes. Considering we are using Canvas, this would be a great solution for teachers and allow them and their students to specifically see where they are struggling and succeeding. The Capstone project plan is divided into 3 modules based professional development that would take place during Creekview High School's school hours, and they would be in face-to-face settings during teachers' planning periods. The first module talks about creating quizzes and the uses of outcomes and question banks. The second module creates and utilizes mastery paths and learning mastery, and module 3 implements instructional strategies that teachers can use to design their mastery paths around so that student data is being collected and differentiated instruction is being used. So these 3 modules would give me an opportunity to meet with teachers and talk to them about how to use Canvas and the significance behind that. I would then follow up via email and face-to-face sessions with the teachers after each module occurred to ensure that they are comfortable with implementing each module into their classroom, ultimately leading to informed decisions based on the student data in their instructional strategies that they're utilizing in their classroom. So this is what the Canvas Advanced Tools training course looks like. And you can see the different modules there. They're all linked. So if you clicked on module 1, it would take you to module 1, which we're going to look at first. So once we clicked on module 1, it would take you to this page, and you can see that module 1 talks about quizzes, outcomes, and question banks. In each module, you'll see, like you do here, they have step-by-step instructions and overviews of how to do the things that in the face-to-face classroom that I taught. It's just step-by-step, so teachers can reference this after our sessions together so that they can become more familiar and comfortable with how to do this. And so you can see it's divided into quizzes and outcomes and how those two relate to each other and how you can tie them together to get the best opportunity to improve your student performance in the classroom. And after I would teach the module, I would follow up through email and face-to-face support for the teachers to ensure that they are comfortable using this. Module 2 is the next module that teachers would participate in, and this is Mastery Paths and Learning Mastery. Mastery Paths are basically student paths based on how they perform on a certain task. And after you see how they perform on a certain task, they would then get a set of assignments based upon that score. And so in this module, I teach teachers how to create that in Canvas. Learning Mastery is a little different. It is where the outcomes are in the gradebook so that you as a teacher and the students can actually see which standards they're performing well in and which standards they need a little bit more support in. And so with a combination of both of those, you should really be able to understand the student data that you're collecting and be able to best assist your students. This is Module 3, Using Student Data and Instructional Strategies and Differentiation of Instruction. Module 3 gives teachers an opportunity to discuss and implement instructional strategies they can use to design their mastery paths around the student data and differentiate instruction. This module will be the final professional development teachers would attend, and in this module it's shaped a little bit differently as it is more discussion based, where teachers will share their best practices for differentiation and professional learning strategies that they use in personalized learning that they implement in their classroom. I have listed some examples there. We have also addressed accessibility to meet the needs of all students. The evaluation of this project would include teacher examples and TEKS evaluation. So with the teacher examples, that would just be evidence that the teachers were using this in their classroom and using it successfully, and that can be through setting up their own mastery paths. That can be through tying outcomes to question banks and using that to track student data. In regards to the TEKS evaluation, if we'll look on the next one. So this is a TEKS evaluation, and it's divided into 10 sections, 10 TAPS performance standards, and the two that we're going to be focused on is the assessments of and for learning, which is right there, 5 and 6. So we're looking at assessment strategies and assessment uses, and so by using Canvas to track student data, it has given us the opportunity to help see the progress and inform the instructional content and delivery methods, and so that would improve teachers' scores if they're utilizing Canvas like I outlined in my modules. The Capstone experience was slightly changed from the original plan. Considering that the majority of teachers at Creekview had not used Canvas prior to this school year, the three module Capstone project was a little ambitious. Creekview also hired an instructional lead strategist, or ILS, who began implementing Data Teams for Learning, or DT4L. Data Teams for Learning aligned with the foundation of my project, which is to help teachers understand the benefit of collecting student data. So the ILS and I decided that it would be best for me to realign my work to fit into her Data Teams for Learning and focus on teaching teachers how to use Canvas to collect that student data. On the slide is Creekview's School Improvement Plan, or Creekview SIP. This is broken down into several sections, but the two we're looking at is Part D and Part E of the locally required plans. Part D specifically talks about DT4L, which we were just talking about, and one of the goals that we're working on is using it to help the staff facilitate the usage of data-driven instructional practices in the classroom. And the way that they're doing that is sitting in professional development courses with our ILS, and this is establishing the why we need to collect student data and show the teachers how important it is. And in their PLC groups, their professional learning communities, they work together to create common formative assessments, or CFAs, to focus on the goal of creating data-based instruction and analysis to meet the needs of all students. So between those two, this creates the need to use Canvas and to track student data. So if we're looking at Canvas, that is going to drop us down into Part E that you see there, and Part E is utilizing Canvas in our classrooms and meeting the needs that the district has and using it to help us with DT4L and our PLC collaborations. And so together, these two standards are going to even further support the plan to help implement Canvas into the classroom more, implement that technology to help improve student achievement. Now we're going to look at the professional development that I taught at Creekview. This is when I taught them how to utilize Canvas in the classroom, and because we had to alternate a little bit, instead of showing them all three modules, we modified it based upon what the teachers were ready for and their experience with Canvas. So we mainly focus on Module 1, that talked about creating question banks, quizzes, and outcomes, and tying outcomes to those things so that they can track student data a little bit better. And so in what we're about to look at is how I did that. Here you'll see two pictures of the Creekview faculty professional development that I taught. It was a one-day training face-to-face during teachers' planning periods. In this training, the ILS and I worked together to explain the why and how to track student data using Canvas. In this PD, we met together and essentially went over Module 1 of my original plan that talked about question banks, creating quizzes, and tying outcomes to them so that the teachers could see specifically where students are struggling and which standards they are struggling with. And during this session, I recorded some videos, and so we're going to look at one of those videos right now.
Or unfiled question bank in yours, and that would be any of the questions that you put in the Canvas. If you haven't put any questions in the Canvas, you won't see anything, and that's totally fine for where we're at. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to add a question bank in there. And so the idea behind this is that you want to add a question bank per standard or per substandard, depending on your subject area. Because the idea is that you're going to tie a question that will assess that skill or that information that you're asking for that student to perform on, and you're going to get very detailed data. So if you were to take your unfiled ones and just tie standards to it, you're going to see that the kids aren't doing well on 7 different standards, but you're not going to know which specifically they're not doing well on. So what we're going to do with this is tie specific questions to standards.
Now we're going to look at another video that looks at a different aspect of the training to give you an idea of what we are also talking about in our professional development training day.
And then you'll have your 4 different categories here. 4 being exceeds mastery, 3 being meets, 2 near, and then 1 below mastery. And then the standards we just imported are here. And so you'll be able to see all the standards that you've imported, and then your students here. So had we have had something graded in here that was on the question bank, it would have shown up here.
At the end of the professional development, I housed my resources that we referenced during the training module in the teacher resources, the Grizzly Growl, which is our ILS's Canvas site that we reference very frequently for a variety of different things. So this would house all of the information from the training in there. And so on the second picture on your right, this is where you can see pretty much all of Module 1 that I covered in my original plan that has now been implemented into the teacher resources page for other teachers to reference after the meeting had finished and if they needed any additional support after we had talked. I also followed up with several teachers via email and via one-on-one meetings. Several teachers were excited to get started, but they were a little hesitant about using this in their classroom. So I was able to step in and provide support that they needed in email and one-on-one meetings. Faculty development, school improvement, and PLC meetings have all been impacted at the end of my Capstone experience. Teachers are expected to use methods I taught them in their classroom to collect data. We have weekly professional learning committee meetings where we discuss the strategies we use in our classroom based upon the student data. Essentially, we have completed parts of my original plan. Due to the timing of implementing Canvas at our school, the use of mastery paths proved to be too advanced at this time. However, it can be addressed in the following year as the county is planning on implementing Gauge, which is just another avenue inside Canvas which streamlines mastery paths. I believe that this project helped make teachers aware of the importance of student data and has provided the opportunity for teachers to collaborate and use common formative assessments to get reliable data through using Canvas. Thank you for your time in listening to my Capstone presentation of how we used Canvas to better improve upon our student data collection. If you have any questions, you can email me at morgangreen1017@gmail.com, and feel free to follow me on Twitter at Miss_Green CVHS. Thank you.